Good to go.
Yep. Live.
Yeah, dude. I would recommend we just start talking shit until we get fucking used to this.
Yeah, I mean, fuck it. I really don't care. We have a
So,
fucking intro or any of that shit. Like whatever. We'll figure that out.
dude. Yesterday I go do this interview and like I'm riding the bus and like walking around outside, man, and like I got like emotional on the bus and like almost started to cry at how beautiful it was to be able to like listen to my own music and walk around outside and like sit next to these crazy fucked up people that were on the bus, dude. It was awesome. I was stoked about it.
That's interesting.
Yeah, dude, it was cool, man. Like generally like you'd be fucking like pissed off that you had to ride the bus and didn't have like a license anymore and fucking shit like that. But I was like, this is great, dude. I am loving this. Like,
Yeah, and it's how nice is that? That just a quick fucking shift in your mindset. Just one different thought, and you're like, wow, I feel so much better than I just did.
well, I don't know if it was a quick shift. It was like it more had to do with me spending 8 months in fucking rehab hell
Right.
that did it to me. Like being used to working from 6:30 in the morning till 9:30 at night, fucking 24/7. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you still could have been on the bus and be, fuck, I'm on the bus.
This one dude, man, like he had like a walker, and he obviously had like some sort of issue, and like his like legs gave out on him or something, and like he fell to his knees, and like you could tell this happened often because his like sweats were all ripped up where his knees were, and then he like crawled on his knees, like walked on his knees to his seat and sat down. And I was like, this guy's a bad motherfucker, man. Like
Wow.
most people are fucking pussies compared to this guy.
Yeah, I'm a fucking pussy compared to that guy. Because I need conditions to be good. But um, yes, people like that amaze me that they can just go, and their knees could be fucked up and they're still gonna, carry shit all fucking day long or whatever the fuck it is. Their back could be fucked up and they just keep on fucking just going to work.
Dude, yeah, you got to be grateful. I was thinking about this yesterday too, man, because like, where I went and applied at was like a T-Mobile store that my buddy runs just to like hustle phones to fools. And I'm like,
Uh,
generally I'd be pissed about like this situation and having to do this. But like, and I was thinking about the way you and I used to think about like having to work and shit. But like my thinking's different now. Where like I'm excited to get the chance to be able to work and get the chance to be able to make money and create commissions for myself. Where like if I work harder, I get paid more. And
right.
like that's like the mindset you got to have, like regardless of what you're doing at the time. Because if you're thinking negatively about it, you're just gonna be fucking throwing that energy out to the universe and shit. And
Right. Poisoning yourself
exactly.
and poisoning the people around you and all that.
So you kind of got to take that attitude of like, like I'm glad I'm doing this right now. I get to do this right now. Like this is cool.
Right. That's what it is. That instant shift, that instant thought, that, and you're just like, oh, fucking light bulb, fucking breakthrough. Like, wow, I'm in a way better spot than I just was.
Yeah, dude. I'm super grateful that like I wound up at that place. I'm not gonna say the name of it because I don't want to fucking throw that out there, but like wound up at that rehab and like had to suffer the way I did and had to put up with it. Because like what it did for me, dude, is like it was so shitty there that if you didn't focus on the positives that you had, you're fucked for sure.
Yeah. No, I mean that just reminded me of after the DMT, where I was just in fucking agony for hours, and I literally I had to use every fucking trick I had ever learned to try to stay positive, or I was gonna fucking pull my hair out. I was gonna just fucking I was gonna kill myself. It was just the worst pain ever.
Dude, like I have like this like picture like scorched into my memory of like the way that your face looked when you were like, dude, I gotta go. Like
I remember that fucking feeling.
you looked like you were suffering.
It was oh my god, it was the worst experience I've ever had in my life by fucking far. It was awful. I will never forget it. But when I think about it now, I get that excess chi. I get that feeling of, you know, I went through this fucking really horrible thing, and I feel like it's fuel now, like it's positive now. It wasn't positive at the time, but it's really really positive now.
Dude, I remember that like that whole week, like every single time we did it again and then did it again and did it again, like I felt like I was getting told like you're getting fucking greedy. You're getting greedy. Like
I was convinced that we were getting greedy. I was convinced by it. That's exactly what it was. You know, when it was the same really for a few times in a row, that, you know, that was it. And I still went too far.
dude, I was talking to one of my buddies. This dude graduated from Stout Street, and like he was like, you know, one thing, because I was talking to him about like fucking like 100% sobriety and like if it's fucking necessary for people who were former addicts or blah blah blah. And I was like, dude, I'm gonna fucking smoke weed. Like, I if I smoke weed, I'm not gonna have to put a needle in my arm. That's asinine to think that way. And he was like, you know, one thing I always wish I really had done before I got sober was DMT. And like I was trying to explain to him, I was like, dude, it's not a drug, man. It's a fucking experience. It's
And
different.
right, yeah, and it's not. It's not like heroin or cocaine or something like that. I mean, you're not gonna do this once and want to do it every day for the rest of your life, or do it all the time. That just it just does not work that way. And to look at it like that, like that's I kind of laugh when people oh, you know, you're doing drugs, that's bad. Well, my body is producing those drugs right now,
That's what I
and
told him, dude. I was like,
when I sleep, my body's producing that drug. So, you know, like just it's weird that the word drug has a stigma to it. It's like we're built on drugs. And that's why, you know, I look at things like that and things like weed and things like that as kind of fundamental to being a human being. Like this is altering your consciousness is as fundamental as consciousness itself. It's as fundamental as fucking breathing to me. So, and the fact that we're denied that shit is just ridiculous.
well, and I mean, it goes like I didn't try and explain this to him, but what it goes along with too, dude, is like, you know, if you're gonna fucking say that you can't do any mind altering substance ever, then you can't chew, which you do. You can't fucking drink Red Bulls or Monsters, which you just slammed one. You know what I'm saying? You can't drink sugar, which was like all of that's a mind altering substance. You can't pick and choose between which one's bad for you and which one's not. And again, they'll fucking come with the bullshit of like, well, fucking, you know, nicotine's never really fucked up anybody's life. You know, they can still go to work, and like sugar's never really fucked up anybody's life. And I'm like, these fat motherfuckers
Oh my
can't run,
god.
dude. You
Yeah,
can't run.
yeah. I mean, there's people that are so obese that they can't fucking move
You
unassisted.
can't
They
even
can't
breathe.
move unassisted, and they. I mean, again, physically, that is so much worse for you, so much worse for your overall health, so much worse for your fucking lifespan. That argument is just fucking bullshit to me. That's absolutely absurd. And yeah, you're right. Like if you're not gonna do anything mind altering, then you can't drink a fucking coffee, you can't drink an energy drink. I mean, essentially, you can't even fucking eat food because food is gonna fucking produce things like dopamine. I mean, like again, it's such a dumb argument. And this goes to this whole basically the whole point of doing this is that people don't give shit a second thought. People don't critically think about anything. So that that is annoying to me.
Well, and dude, like to me, like the name of this podcast, Rewire Reality. Like, what that means is like rewire the way that you've been taught to believe. You know,
Yeah, and
like
that includes us.
if you're set in a straight belief system and you will not consider it critically and logically, then you're fucked.
Right.
You're fucked.
And again, it's not how we operate. People can deny it all day long, but they want to improve. They want to get out of their shitty situation, or they want to adjust their shitty mindset. And you can deny it if you want to, but it's just you're wired to fucking improve.
Well,
And
dude,
if
like
you're not improving, you're depressed. It's just basically what it is.
yeah, I think more than that, man. People like they're wired to think about it and like think about, oh yeah, I'm gonna improve. You know, I'm gonna do all these things. But then you just all you do is think about it, and all you do is talk about it instead of actually doing it because doing it's difficult and it requires
Right.
discipline. And motherfuckers
Right.
have no discipline.
Discipline's it's a fucking rare thing nowadays. I'm not very disciplined. I do my best, but I'm not, and that's a skill that I want to improve. You know, because I'm not as disciplined as I'd like to be. But again, you know, if you're fucking 100 pounds overweight, then you really lack a discipline, big time. So that's yeah, and that's kind of the next. That's honestly like the next stage. If you never think about it ever, then the next stage is, oh, now you're thinking about it, and now you're overthinking and over processing, and that fucking trips you up just as much as being ignorant does.
Dude, while I was at the rehab, like I told you about this kid, the only person out of the like 200 to 500 people I met there, like the only person that whose behavior I emulated and made my own was this kid who was super disciplined. And I was like, none of you other motherfuckers have anything that I want that I don't already have. And I'm only going to listen to people who have something I want that I don't already have myself.
Right. That's how, and yeah, that's how it works. And to think that, oh, I'm gonna trust this AA mentality, or I'm gonna trust this counselor who is just as, you know, stuck in that same mentality as everybody else, you know, that's a waste of time. Absolutely.
Well, it's ridiculous in the first place, dude. I mean, like as far as addiction goes, like fucking humans suck at treating addiction, dude. We do not know what the fuck we're doing. The experts.
We suck at treating everything. We suck at
Yeah.
treating everything. I mean,
But I mean, especially addiction, dude. The experts in this subject have a success rate of less than 2% across the board. Doesn't matter what fucking type of treatment you're doing, unless it's fucking ibogaine. But anything we have in this country, dude, you have a success rate of less than 2%, which means you fucking suck ass at your job. You're not good at it.
But okay, at the same time, if you know, is the success rate, is that person really successful? Again, if they're solely attached to the system and they're in a constant state of fucking fear for the rest of their life, that, oh shit, if I use, I'm fucked and I got to start the whole thing over again, that's not really success to me, you know. So it's probably less than 1%. I mean, that 2% is probably high, you know. It just, yeah. And again, why don't people give that a second fucking thought? I'm going to this place that is designed for me to fail and has not helped anybody. I mean, it helps, yeah, probably 1 out of 1,000 people.
Well, and I mean, dude, like staying 100% sober is not an easy thing to do by any means. So, you know, I respect people who do that for themselves, but if you do it out of a place of fear, because if you think like you have one beer or like take one hit of weed, then you're fucked for the rest of your life and like are gonna just go off the deep end. You have one beer, so you have to drink 10 more. You're an idiot. Like you're telling me that fucking this disease you have is controlling your body and making you slam like 50 shots of tequila. No, you're an idiot.
You're choosing to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Choosing to do that. I mean, they're gonna fucking say obesity is a disease. I think they do. I'm sure they do. But they call it and it's like, really, your brain was so fucked up to begin with that you chose to eat, horrible food way more than you should and do it every single day. Get the fuck out of here. That just does not compute in my fucking brain. It's like, you made the fucking choice. And you made it over and over and over again. Just because you made it a habit doesn't make it a fucking disease.
Well,
And go ahead.
People are just fucking super lazy, man, and they don't ever want to take accountability for themselves. They don't ever want to take responsibility for themselves. They would prefer to be lazy and blame all of their fucking problems on anything and everything, including an imaginary disease you got that forces fucking Twinkies in your fat ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh, my genes are wired this way. I'm fucking big boned. Like, it's easier for me to gain weight. It's like, no, motherfucker, you eat Twinkies all day long. That's what you do.
And you don't exercise ever. And and it's somehow some mystical thing is making you fat. Really? Come on. That's ridiculous.
Just like it's some like mystical thing that like forces like fucking heroin in your body or some shit. Like, fuck you, dude.
Yeah, like you didn't fucking choose to do that. It just blows my fucking mind. And I didn't read it because it's not worth my time, but it was like, oh, this woman's life is totally different and it's ruined after doing MDMA one time. Really? One fucking time, and you can't handle your shit anymore, and you're a totally different person and you're just fucked. It's just a lack of accountability. It's a lack of responsibility, and that is the biggest disease on this planet right now. Is people are looking for excuses. They're looking for something to blame their shit on. They're looking for anything to blame their shit on except themselves. And that's, you're never going to improve. You're never going to get out of that with that mentality. It's really pathetic. It's really pathetic.
Yeah, dude, I don't even know like how you get people to like understand that and like realize that, because I think people just don't want to, Like, dude, that's how I got clean.
It takes some moment. It takes some fucking just snap of the fingers, some moment in their lives where they realize that they are in control, where they have the power, whether that, whatever it is. That's what I believe, because that's what it is in my life, is that it's literally just a snap of the fingers. Just like bam, and this whole new realization that, if I have a problem with whatever the fuck it is, that's on me. It's my interpretation of that. It's my creation in a way. I don't have complete control over everybody and what they do, obviously not, but it is up to me how I react to it. And, I realized that, I don't know, it's probably 18 or 19, where it was literally a moment that I won't forget, that was just like bang, where I was like, oh shit, yeah, like this, if I'm nervous in this situation, that's on me. It's not other people making me nervous. It's the way my brain is moving. It's the way I'm thinking. And I just, when people don't have things that alter their consciousness, that don't give them another perspective, then all this type of shit comes out. All of this mental illness, which is again, it's sad, but I can't like totally blame that person. I mean, it's the way they just try to be part of the group, part of society, whatever. And this is what society breeds, is this type of fucking shitty mentality
Dude, that
of
mentality is
emotions.
like one of the main reasons why I chose to leave that place, dude. Because, you know, I'd be fucking sitting in games and shit getting yelled at by people, and they'd be like, you need to fucking surrender to the program. You need to fucking give up your power. And I'd be like, no, I don't. Fuck you. That's the worst idea anybody's ever told me. Like, I'm supposed to be listening to you sons of bitches. You guys are fucking idiots. Like, there's no way in
Exactly.
hell I'm ever going to surrender to anything besides myself. You know, doesn't mean I'm going to be a dick, but like, fuck you, dude. I'm not going to say that I'm powerless against this bullshit because I'm not. And I proved it.
And again, give that a second fucking thought. Critically think about that. I'm gonna surrender my power to something outside of myself.
To you assholes who have a fucking 2% success rate.
Exactly. I mean, you fail constantly. You're only quote unquote successful because you're still here, because you're still plugged into the shit. If you were out on your own, you're gonna fucking slip up and you're gonna go right down the fucking rabbit hole again. So no, yeah, I mean, and that's where people need to realize that they know themselves better than anybody else knows them. And that, I don't care if you're a complete fucking idiot, you know yourself better than your fucking parents know you, better than your best friends know you, better than anybody else knows you. And how could you not think that? How could you not think I know me better than this person knows me? So if whatever they're fucking saying to me doesn't fucking fit in and it doesn't fucking feel right, and I'm just getting this fucking feeling of nah, I'm not gonna listen to you, then yeah, that's how you fucking do it. You know you better than anybody else, and
Yeah,
that's
dude, like it was to the
part
point
of
where
taking
like I was like, you know
responsibility.
what? I would rather dig a hole and fill it back up with dirt and then dig another hole and fill it back up with dirt for fucking the 4 months out of the 8 that I was there than listen to you assholes. Like, I'm cool with this. This is what I'm gonna do. Because fuck
Yeah,
you guys.
I'd rather be in my own head than have you flooding me with all this fucking horseshit.
Dude, it was kind of a crazy experience too, like not being able to talk to anybody for that long too. Because there'd be about like 2 hours out of the day where you were allowed to talk to somebody, like if you were in class or games or something. But the rest of the time you're not allowed to speak and people aren't allowed to speak to you. So you're by your fucking self the entire time, dude. And there's like a lot of like introspection to went into that, especially if you were like me and just fucking dug holes and shit, like away from human contact, and like
Right.
just you spend a lot of time with yourself, and like it forces you to be okay with yourself, which was cool.
Yeah, and you have to be. I mean, you can't be all the time because again, you're still trying to improve. You're still trying and trying to improve also means looking at yourself like you're a piece of shit. I mean that you suck and that you're not where you want to be. And so that's again, it's not easy, and it's not just a fucking cakewalk every time. But yeah, you have to be comfortable with your own fucking thoughts. You have to be comfortable with your own reality.
Dude, that's another thing that was crazy too, is like they would like try and like convince you that you had to be okay with where you're at right now. And like I think that's like a fucking double-edged sword, because like you have to like not think negatively about where you're at, but like fuck where I'm at, dude. Like why would I not want to get better and get out of this?
Right. I mean, yeah, exactly. And that's everything's a paradox. I mean, you want to be content with where you're at, but being content with where you're at could keep you there forever, and you don't want that. Nobody wants that, or most people don't. So yeah, it is that kind of that um, fucking that yin and yang of do I have to accept what I've done in my past? Sure, absolutely. But does that mean I got to be okay with it and thrilled about it? I don't really think I can, and I got to do better. I don't want to be, I don't want to be attached to, I don't want to be attached to the rehab center for the rest of my fucking life. even if they employ me and pay me, and according to society, I'm doing great. But that, you know, are you really living in that scenario? I don't
Dude,
think so.
that's another thing is like they wanted you to graduate and like so you could be attached to that place for the rest of your life. And it was like, dude, they convinced people that they're fucked without that place. And I was like, that's not healthy for you. Like, it's not.
And that seems to be the whole AA mentality, the whole thing of, yeah, you are powerless, and you have to stick to this very rigid way of living, or you're fucked, and you're gonna ruin your whole life. And, I would think a lot of people slip up simply because, their inner being is like, no, this is not how it is. You know that this doesn't fucking feel right, and yet other people, or that voice in your head that's scared is telling you that this is what you gotta fucking do. And that's like anybody who, like, the first step of being an AA is admitting that you are powerless to the alcohol, or admitting you're powerless to the drugs. Give that a fucking second thought. Critically think about that, and that shit just does not compute. It just, I fucking blows my mind. I remember thinking this is probably why I've never been seriously addicted to anything. Is that and I don't know how old I was. I was probably 11, 12, some shit like that. And I hated the idea of having a pill control my life, control my thoughts, control my feelings. I hated that idea. And that was before weed and all of that type of shit. I was like, no, I'm never gonna do any of that stuff because I don't like the idea of a pill or whatever having control over me.
Dude, when I was at that interview yesterday, me and the guy were kind of like bullshitting for a while. He's a cool dude. And we like somehow, like he asked, I told him like I eventually want to run my own business. And like he asked me about it. And like I actually got to sit in that interview and like speak honestly instead of playing this bullshit fucking like fake interview game where I got to wear a mask. So I was like, I don't really, like I know like the subject that I want to do for a business is to create something that like helps people as far as like physically, emotionally, and mentally. But like tons of shit goes into that. And like, I told him like got into like yoga and all this stuff. And we got on the subject of doctors and shit and how like fucking doctors, like their solution for everything is just to throw pills at you. And he stopped and he goes, like I completely agree with all that. And then he goes, but I got a son who, has severe ADHD. And I'm like, oh, fuck. So like he starts telling me, and it's like, the thing that really convinced me that this would be good for my son is the doctor told me that, what if your son gets fucking hit by a car because he's so severely disabled with his fucking ADHD disease that he won't look two ways and walk in front of the car, dude. And like, because I was in an interview, I had to hold my tongue, but I was like, this is so fucked up, man. Like, you're telling me that, like, dude, kids are fucking kids. Yeah. They're more concerned with like the football that's flying around and the butterflies. Like, it's fucking your job as a parent to make sure your fucking little son doesn't run out in front of a car, dude. But he doesn't have a disease that like prevents him from looking both ways when he crosses the street. He just hasn't fucking have it yet, and then you fucking forced a pill down his throat that's meth.
Yeah, I mean, and again, fuck, I forgot what point I was gonna make. Is that you're just gonna shut off all your humanness. You're gonna shut off all your instincts and all that type of stuff. And that pill is gonna do more to make that happen than the kid would on his own.
Dude, and this guy even admitted, he's like, I know doctors get paid to prescribe drugs. I know they do. But, I couldn't let my kid get hit by a car because he's not paying attention. I'm like, then motherfucker, have him play in the backyard, bro.
Exactly. Or fucking train him. Train him to be on high alert in those situations.
Teach the little shit
You
to
know,
look both ways.
exactly. How hard is that? Look both ways every goddamn time. Look left, look right, look left. It's like when you're driving a fucking car. You know, God, and we're taking people's fucking power away for out of fucking fear. I understand that, you know, because being a parent, you know, you're in a constant state of nerves and of anxiety. I get that, but man, I mean, you have to fucking get over that at some point, don't you? You have to.
Dude, kids are gonna do what they're gonna do, man. Like, life is life. Anybody could die at any point in time, man. Don't fucking give your kid a pill to try and make him live. That's crazy.
Yeah, and you know, it's unfortunate because we have such a scary way of looking at death because you know we're so ignorant to it. You know, like the fucking ancient Egyptians, they used to take like DMT type things to travel because they wanted to study the afterlife. They wanted to study. And these people would come back from their trips and immediately start like being interviewed and start fucking breaking it down. And yeah, I think we just have, and obviously, again, you don't want to lose your kids, obviously, but we have such a scary way of looking at death when you know it really doesn't exist. I mean, you really just transform. There is no such thing as all of a sudden it's just fucking black and you're just done, and your consciousness just fucking stops. I mean, that's impossible. So yeah, I think you know people need to not have such a fucking scary way of looking at death.
Dude, I don't think I've ever met a single person in my entire life who needed to be on fucking Adderall or Ritalin. Never.
It doesn't fucking exist. I mean, ADD is fucking thinking. It's not. It's not fucking. Oh, this person's hyperactive and they're out of control. No, they're fucking using their brain. And that, and even the guy who fucking created the ADD medication, he admits that. He admits it's a fictitious disease. It doesn't exist.
Dude, when I worked in the outreach office and was like in control of like intaking people like into the program, this is one good part of it is like you're not allowed to be on any psychoactive substances. This is actually a really good part of the program, dude. Is like no, you need to fucking learn how to be a human and not rely on any type of chemical to fucking keep you going. So I'd be talking to fools, right? And like, come across the question where like, okay, what type of meds are you on? And some of these motherfuckers would be like, well, I'm on an antidepressant, I'm on Prozac, and then I'm on Abilify because that doesn't work well enough for me. And then I'm also on Xanax for anxiety. And then like I'm also on Seroquel, which is fucking an antipsychotic and basically a tranquilizer that knocks you the fuck out. I'd be like looking at it like,
oh shit.
Are you like, what asshole doctor put you on all this shit, bro? This is horrible.
Yeah. Have you heard fucking Cat Williams has a bit about Seroquel? He was like, he got institutionalized for a short period of time. I don't think he said why, but he was like, I don't know what the fuck is in that, but you could just say Seroquel to me, and he just fucking slumps over and falls to the floor. He's like, we could just be having a conversation, and you can say Seroquel, and it just fucking just goes down, and I was fucking cracking up. And that's the type of shit. I mean, like, what makes you think that taking an antidepressant and then taking a fucking anti-anxiety for your antidepressant and then taking a fucking whatever the fuck else it is, I don't even know. I mean, the list is so ridiculous that, again, what makes you think that that's a fucking good idea? Are you really gonna just lose your fucking mind if you're off this shit? Really?
Yeah, you will for a couple days until your brain gets back to normal. But like, fuck, dude,
because that's it fucking it up.
It's poison, man.
And it's like I think about babies needing vaccines. it's like, is that thing already fucking sick? Is that thing already, horrible and going to infect people that it needs vaccines, really? And it needs, not just one, but it needs like fucking 10. It needs like 20.
Dude.
Really? It's a fucking baby. It hasn't done anything yet.
Did I tell you about like the vaccine debacle that went down to Stout Street?
Oh, no, you didn't.
Fucking dude, this is awesome, bro. They tried to force a flu shot on everybody at Stout Street, right?
Of course they did.
Yeah, and I was like, I was like, I'm not fucking taking that shit. Like, fuck you guys, I'm not doing it, right? And there's a couple other people who took that stance too. Like, I think there's like 10 of us or some shit. We're like, we're not doing it. So then like it comes down to the line, right? And like, they do like a lot of fear mongering there where they're like, well, if you fucking don't take it, we're going to fucking terminate you. You're going to get kicked the fuck out, or we're going to put you on a badge for 2 months, a bunch of bullshit, right? So all these other motherfuckers caved in, dude. And they're like, well, okay, I'll take the flu shot. And then me and my boy, both of us were like, dude, I'm not fucking taking that thing. Like, fuck you guys. So like I took, like, his stance was different than mine. He was like, I'm just gonna not take it and pretend I did so nobody knows about it. And I was like, okay, like that kind of makes sense, but you know what? Like, fuck you guys. Like, I'm standing up for what I believe in, and I'm not fucking taking this flu shot, and everybody in this fucking place is gonna know that I did not take it, right? Yeah. So I go up there to tell them I'm not taking the flu shot. Come back downstairs and watching TV, and like one of the counselors comes and gets me, and he's like, hey, Eric, you didn't take your flu shot. And I was like, no, I did not. And he's like, you need to fucking take it, man. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing it, man. And like, he starts questioning me about like why I won't want to take it. And I was like, I don't even want to fucking explain this to you. And he's like, what, you some kind of conspiracy theorist? And I was like, okay, yeah, let's fucking put it that way, because like nothing I'm going to say to your dumbass is going to fucking
absolutely.
So I'm like, dude, I'm not taking it. And he's like, it's not up to me, but if it was up to me, I would terminate you for not taking this flu shot. He's like, you telling me you're willing to get terminated over a flu shot? And I was like, yes, I am. I'm not fucking taking it. And I go back and watch the Broncos game now. You guys got to do what you got to fucking do, but like, fuck you, dude. So they wake me up because like I'm working nights at this point, so I sleep during the day. So they wake me up in the middle of the night and pull me into the director's office. And this dude like sits down with me and like actually like kind of acts like a human and like tries to find out why I didn't take the flu shot. And he's like, we need you to take
that fucking cop shit.
Yeah, dude. Those cop games that like So, I tell him why I didn't take it, why I'm not going to take it. And he keeps on playing cop games with me. And he's like, like, I don't know what's going to happen to you, man. Like, I got to talk to the president of the company. We might have to terminate you. I might have to put you in timeout for 10 hours and give you a fucking 30-day badge. Might have to shave your head. All the shit that they do there. And I'm like, okay, man. Well, like, I'm not going to fucking take the flu shot. If you bring somebody back here, I'm just going to tell them I'm not taking the flu shot again. So you might as well not waste your time or money. All right. And then like, dude, fast forward a month later, dude, every single fucking person in the house gets like deathly sick except for me.
See, Jesus fucking Christ. And people act like that's fucking normal. Like, you're supposed to take this so you get deathly fucking sick and then you'll be okay. Really? I gotta almost die to be okay when I'm okay right now? Yeah, god damn. Yeah, yes, I am a fucking conspiracy theorist. You can go fuck yourself.
Yeah, dude, and like everybody in the house is like, they forced everybody to wear doctor's masks. So everybody's walking around the house looking like fucking Sub-Zero and Bane.
Oh my god.
God damn it, I wish I didn't take the flu shot.
Oh shit.
It was funny, dude.
That's hilarious. And there's examples of that shit all over the fucking place, that you're totally fine until you take the fucking flu shot or whatever the fuck else it is. I mean, there's plenty of fucking vaccines there. And I just heard today that the flu shot for last year, I think my mom was telling me that they have to pick like one strain, like out of I don't even know, hundreds or whatever. They have to pick one. And if you don't get that strain of the flu, then that fucking flu shot didn't help you at all.
It's like a crapshoot too, dude. How the fuck do they like know which one?
How are you gonna know? How are you gonna know? How are you gonna get it right? You know,
dude, it's like the episode of South Park where they like put a fucking chicken on like a big board and then cut its head off and let it run around, and when it like falls over, like that one.
That's the fucking choice that they make. Bailout.
Yeah, dude.
Bailout.
That's
really what it is. And people, and again, they really, you know, just like cops are trying to, you know, get you to fucking slip up. They're trying to, oh, I'm a human being now. I'm just trying to talk to you like a human being. No, you're fucking not. You're a fucking pig. And you're trying to get me to slip up so you can write me a fucking ticket or whatever the fuck you're going to do. And the doctors will do that same shit where they will be like, well, you're gonna get people around you sick, or your people are around you are gonna be sick and you're not gonna be able to protect yourself. Well, I'll fucking take that chance. Thank you very much.
Dude, you know what I wonder about that situation with the guy I was talking to yesterday is like did that doctor actually believe that he was helping this guy out and saving his son's life by making sure he doesn't fucking run out in front of a car? Like, I can't.
He might rationalize it to himself like that, but I don't think so. I don't. Okay, was the doctor trying to fucking help you when they give you Suboxone? Was the doctor honestly trying to help you, or was he trying to fuck you in the ass and have you dependent for as long as he possibly could?
That's a good question, dude. I don't know.
I don't believe that he had your fucking best intentions in mind. I don't think any of these doctors do, because honestly, if they did, they would say, look, you know, don't come see me every time you're fucked up, you know, fucking exercise, eat fucking good food, and, you know, sleep more, do things to enhance your sleep, things like that, you know, and take things like cannabis that actually fucking work and don't have horrible fucking side effects, which the shit that I'm gonna give you is gonna just lead you to the next fucking thing.
Dude, no fucking doctor. Next thing. No doctor takes any of that shit they prescribe either. I've not ever met a doctor that's on an antidepressant or on fucking Seroquel or on fucking some crazy shit, unless they're just a drug addict and they want to get high on painkillers.
They'd lose their fucking job. Yeah. They would lose their fucking job if they took any of that shit. It's just like that made me think of fucking politicians. They pass this thing at the last second that says that they're exempt from Obamacare. They're exempt from the fucking healthcare system that they're forcing on everybody else. Really? And this shit is good. This shit is a great idea. And it's working fucking expertly, and yet you, the guys who fucking wrote the shit, don't have to participate. Really? I mean, come on. And that's the same. It's the same shit. A doctor will never take fucking ADD medication, or will never take fucking antidepressants, because they read the goddamn label where it says, oh, what are the side effects? More depression, suicidal thoughts, fucking suicide attempts. It's just embarrassing.
Dude, like, it's so weird the power that those fools have over people. Like you know that the drug that you're supposed to be taking for depression is going to make you more depressed and might have you thinking like you should kill yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm reading like a label for like a car product and like, you know, like some new like gasoline or some shit, and it's like, okay, well, this gasoline might make your car run, but it's probably gonna make it explode. They're like, fuck, man, this guy told me it might make my car, and I'm gonna put it in my car. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's what it is, man. That is what it is. And I remember I got a fucking, and again, thankfully that these things have actually happened to me, where they're just, you know, tiny little moments, but they have a huge impact, where I go to the doctor and I'm hunched over because I got a fucking back spasm and it hurts like a motherfucker. It hurt for, you know, like 12 hours or some shit. And And he asked me, "Oh, you're a little slunched over. Are you depressed?" And I was like, "No, I'm not. My fucking back is killing me." And that immediately, you know, led to I'm not gonna go to a doctor. I mean, unless I fucking break my leg, I ain't going because I don't fucking trust him. I don't trust. Plus, the shit that he gave me didn't fucking work at all. Didn't help me at all. Didn't relieve the pain at all. But that's that type of shit. You know what happens when I say yes, and he just automatically starts fucking writing me a prescription for some antidepressants. And now I'm taking this shit, and now, you know, who the fuck knows what happens? And yeah, I don't have a. I've been questioning the system forever anyway, but that, yeah, that's that type of shit where I'm like, no, I don't trust any of you motherfuckers.
That reminds me of another story. Like, I went to a chiropractor while I was a Stouchery one time, which was fucking badass. And like, I get into this office, and I like the chiropractor walks in, dude, and he's like this fucking like swole up, good looking dude who's like super fit and shit. And I go like talk to him, like, damn, dude, I'm like, you're way too swole to be a doctor. And he's like, yeah, no, I should be fat as fuck with a cigarette in my mouth trying to give you some fucking pills right now, huh?
That's exactly.
I was like, I like this guy.
And that's the person I'm gonna fucking trust. That's the person I'm gonna go to again, versus this type of shit.
That's like, it's like going to a fucking like a fitness instructor who's morbidly obese and like taking the information that they have for you.
Yeah.
And like, even if they're telling you to fucking like eat fruits and vegetables and like run 30 minutes a day and work out, you're like looking at them like, you don't do any of this shit.
Yeah, like why would I trust you? I mean, you can't even do it. I hear what you're saying. What you're saying is probably right, but I'm gonna go to somebody else that is actually practicing what they preach.
Important to do that. That's something I worked on there a lot too. It was like fucking not smoking because I say how bad it is all the time. It's like, okay, well then why am I still doing this? You know, I'm gonna stop not eating sugary food anymore because I say it's bad for you all the time. Okay, well I should probably fucking stop doing this. You know what I'm saying? It's so much more powerful when you actually follow what you say, what the fuck comes out your mouth.
Yeah, it's important. And yeah, that's that always really fucking annoyed me with you, is that we'd have conversations about how cigarettes suck, and then I see you fucking lighting up another cigarette or bumming one off anybody who was in the vicinity of you. Fucking, oh, they got a cigarette. Oh, sweet. Oh, and because it's not mine, it's not a big deal, or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, dude, I'm glad that I fucking don't have that mentality anymore. That, again, that's like something I took a look at. I was like, dude, I'm not going to be this person. It's not even that I don't want to be this person anymore. I'm just not going to be it. Like, fuck it.
Yeah. And yeah, you can't feed that fucking loser mentality.
Yeah, dude, it's ridiculous. Hold up a second. Did I tell you about that email that my stepmom sent me?
Yeah, you forwarded it to me.
Yeah. But like, I got to talk to her last night, and you know, I was like, hey, you know, the reason that that my dad won't explain anything to you is because my dad doesn't know anything because he didn't want to hear me explain anything to him. And I was like, so, you know, if you want to know, I'll tell you, like, why the fuck I did what I did. But, like, I'm going to need you to, like, listen to it. And then also couple what I'm telling you with what my actions have been for the past 8 months. Because for once now, my words are matching my actions.
Uh-huh.
So, you know, I took her through, like, you know, like how I'd been thinking about it for like the past 4 months and how I'd been fucking talking to my counselor about it, like every single time I saw him, about like, was I ready or not? Like, you know, it's in my best interests. You know, I know I'm going to follow myself, but I also just want to make sure that, like, you know, people aren't concerned who, like, have seen this before, because you do have a little bit of power there when this is what you do for a living and shit like that.
Right. You do have
And, like, explain that, like, like, it wasn't a fucking, like, just, like, random decision that I had made. Like, I had made sure that I had everything set up as far as, like, my success goes, being able to keep myself fucking clean, being able to keep myself safe, as far as, like, using again or fucking having a roof over my head. I mean, like, dude, I went over everything for 4 months, considered everything, including considering, like, the amount of fear that I'd have to put into my family. And what I told her was, I was like, like,
yeah, that was your biggest hurdle for sure.
yeah, one of them for sure. And what I told her, I was like, I considered this because you guys are important to me, and I considered you guys' feelings in this. But whether I left right now or whether I completed the program and left then, you guys were still going to have the same amount of fear no matter what. And she actually, like, stopped, and she was like, that's fucking 100% true.
100%.
Yeah. So, and, like, the other biggest thing too is, like, I wasn't okay with fucking taking the easy route and having them wipe my ass for another year. That was one of the biggest things I was battling with. I was like, it's easy for me to fucking do this. I do not want to sit in easy. I do not want to continue not to take responsibility for myself. I want to go fucking own myself and fucking have to deal with my own bullshit on my own.
Right, and you would just, again, you'd be sabotaging yourself if you stay there, because you'd have that disconnect. You'd be like, I'm putting off the reality. I'm putting off where I really need to be and where I know I need to be, which is not here. I've done what I need to do. I've accomplished what I needed to accomplish, and if I stay here, it's just gonna fuck with my head. It's just gonna, just gonna discombobulate things.
Yeah, dude, it was just gonna continue to institutionalize me, which I had already been feeling, dude. Like, I'm like, fuck, this is, like, getting to the point where, like, this is scary how unhealthy this is. Like, I'm legitimately concerned about, like, leaving here and, like, okay, am I gonna be able to fucking walk to the bus stop and get on a bus and ride it a couple fucking blocks and go apply for a job? Like, then I'd be like, what, are you fucking crazy, dude? Of course you could go do that. Like, you got legs, son. Fuck you. You know what I'm saying?
You got legs.
Yeah,
so she was receptive.
Yeah, she was receptive. But, like, at the end of it, I told her, I was like, listen, I hope this made you feel a little bit better. But again, the only thing you can do right now is just watch me. So fucking watch me. I'll be here. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, it's just is what it is. I mean, you can't strap me down.
The other good thing too, dude, was I told her, I was like, the place I was at is not a fucking magic pill. There's absolutely nothing special about that place compared to anywhere else. It's different and it worked well for me, and I'm appreciative and grateful that I went there. But, like, this is me and on me since day one. And
Right.
I knew I was tired of being a dick before I even went there. Again, I needed somewhere where I could fucking withdraw and feel like shit and, like, go sit in the bathroom every single night for 5 hours with the shower on the floor in the fetal position, fucking hurt, which is what I did for a month, dude. Like, I needed to be able to do that in a place where, like, I didn't have to worry about feeding myself, and I didn't have to worry about paying bills. I didn't have to worry about working when I couldn't walk because my fucking legs hurt so bad.
Right. Yeah, you had to be there solely focused on this. And that's probably why a lot of people keep that shit up, is because they have all of those other things to deal with. And so they'll keep making that excuse to keep shit going.
Dude, that's the other part about being a heroin addict.
At the same time, there's a lot of people, I don't know about heroin, but there's a lot of people who have their shit under control, whether they fucking, I don't know whether they do cocaine or whatever the fuck it is they do. They have it under control. They're okay. You know, just like, it's like you could smoke weed all day every day if you had your fucking shit together and everything was fine. Like there's no problem with that.
Dude, it's interesting because there's three drugs in particular that really fuck people up and people really have a hard time getting off and staying off. And it's alcohol, meth, and heroin, right? I mean, I'm still the fucking gold standard being a heroin addict, dude. Like, with no other drug do you have to fucking literally like be in physical pain for fucking 2 months while you're trying to quit. And like, if you take one hit, you're gonna be fine. So it's a little bit different. Like, I'll give alcoholics some credit because for fucking a couple days, for like four days, like, especially if you're a heavy drinker, you're gonna be fucking shaking and sweating and cold sweating, and like if it's real bad, you'll have seizures, and like you can actually die from alcohol withdrawal. But you only have to deal with it for 4 days. You don't have to deal with it for fucking 2 months. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I would think, and I've never been seriously addicted to this shit, but I would think if if someone came to me and be like, all right, you're gonna suffer horribly for the next 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 10 days, and then you'll be fine. I'd be like, all right, let's fucking do it. I can do that shit. A few days, sure. 2 months, maybe. But even in that case, I'm like, yeah, I'll fucking do this because I'm fucking disgusted with myself right now. That sure, I'll fucking make that date. I'll make that trade. I'll make that deal. But again, I've never fucking experienced that type of shit. I've never experienced that type of addiction. So,
well, dude, and that's the weird thing too, is because like when you're outside of it, it doesn't seem that bad. Even right now, dude, I know what I went through and I know how awful it was, but I don't fucking like, I don't really remember it. I don't feel the same way right now, so it's not really in my mind at the present right now. But when you're in it, dude, it's not fun. You like, and that's what you have to do. You have to convince yourself. You're like, okay, well, and I didn't know it was going to be 2 months, dude. I thought I was going to be cool after a couple weeks, and I'm coming up like on a month and a week, and I'm like, fuck, dude, this is rough. But like every single day it got a little bit better, and like you just tell yourself, you know what, I made it through the last day, which is worse. Tomorrow's going to be a little bit better, so I can look forward to tomorrow. And then you just keep looking forward and looking forward and looking forward until fucking that one day where I slept 8 hours and I woke up and like fucking like cried because I was like, oh my god, I fucking slept. Fuck you guys.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Versus I'm looking at how fucking painful this is or how much this sucks or whatever. And now you're like, oh, okay, I'm seeing the improvement. I'm feeling the improvement. And I know that the ball is rolling in that direction finally, versus, I keep trying to fucking push the ball forward and it keeps just fucking crushing me. So yeah, I get that. I get that when you're in it, it's not as easy as someone just saying, oh, let's make this fucking deal.
Dude, the weird thing about meth too is like with meth, dude, you don't have any withdrawals. Like those motherfuckers will be up for like 25 days straight at a time. So all you do is like sleep for like 4 days straight. Like you wake up to eat and take a shit, but the rest of the time you're passed out. But like there's like this like weird mental addiction going on with them, where they're like, I don't understand it because I've never done it.
Where they just feel like a fucking loser or some shit. They just feel unproductive or whatever it is.
I don't know, man. Like stimulant guys. Like I've never been a stimulant guy. I was a downer dude. But like the stimulant guys, like they need to be doing something at all times, and they like doing shit all the time. So you'd be like, this is what they'd explain to me, but they'd be like, okay, I've been up for a couple days, but like, fuck, I got to work tomorrow. So, I'll continue this and smoke a bowl and then work. And then they'll be up at night and they're like, well, fuck, like now I got to go party. And like, it would just be that vicious cycle over and over and over again. But that drug fucks people up, dude. It does a weird mental thing to you. it's got to be chemical too. I don't fucking know, but it's not like heroin, dude. Where like I'm fucking dying right now. I feel like I'm gonna die, and I know like one hit of this or fucking some Xanax will make me feel better.
Yeah. Yeah. You see, and that's again, I feel very lucky, very grateful that I just had that moment where I was like, a pill control my life. Fuck that. I'm better than that. And that was when I was really young. Again, that was before weed and all that type of stuff. And I had that mental battle with weed in many cases where I'm like, oh, I wanna watch a movie, so I'll smoke weed, or I wanna work out, so I'll smoke weed before, and that type of shit. And that'll kind of I'll have to deal with that, and then I won't have any weed, and I'm like, I don't want to work out, or I don't want to, blah 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 blah. So, and that's what it really comes down to. It comes down to a fucking choice. It comes down to your mentality about whatever it is.
Comes down to the discipline too, dude, of just being like, okay, well, I don't want to work out right now, but I'm just gonna force myself to do it.
Yeah, or I'm not gonna, or I'm gonna feel it a little more than I normally would, or I'm not gonna be able to do as much as I normally would, or whatever. But I'm gonna fucking do it anyway. And yeah, you eventually just get to a point where now it's like, oh, I don't need I don't need the drug for any of that shit. You know, I don't need the weed. I just, I just like it.
Yeah, dude,
I
that's
just
another
like
nice
it.
thing about this too, is like now I don't feel like I need something to like
To do
take
anything.
me away from feeling shit I don't want to feel. It's like, no, I'm
Right.
used to dealing with a ton of bullshit, which is another good part about Sasha, dude. That's one of the reasons they fucking fuck with you so much and piss you off as much as they can. And they know they're fucking pissing you off, but they still do it anyway. And you know that they're trying to piss you off, but like it still just fucking frustrates the fuck out of you. And like you just have to go deal with it.
Yeah, I don't think a better motivation exists than trying to prove a motherfucker wrong. I really don't. That's always that's always the best motivator. Is somebody telling you you can't do something or whatever it is that you just say, "Fuck you! I am gonna fucking do this. I don't
I
give a
don't.
fuck."
That's so true. Like that shouldn't be the prime motivator. You should be trying to like prove yourself wrong. But like when you can flip off the whole world, it feels so
Exactly.
much better.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. When so, and that's kind of what this fucking podcast is, and what it'll be is I fucking hate when I censor myself based on other people's fucking opinions or my fear of what some fucking people are gonna say. And I especially in the last few days, I've been getting really, really fucking motivated to just say all of the shit and talk about all of it because, and there's another side where, you know, I don't know if we're going to be able to do this forever. You know, I don't even know if uh if YouTube and all that type of shit is going to like this because of what we talk about, you know, and if we're violating their terms of service or whatever the fuck it is. I mean, so that type of shit really fucking motivates me that people wanna, oh, I'm offended by that. And now you can't think that way anymore. Really? Guess what? I'm still fucking thinking that way. And I'm still gonna say it, and you're not gonna stop me from fucking saying it. And we live in such a fucking PC fucking world. It's so fucking annoying. Oh, I lost them. Well, I'll keep this going for a second. Son of a bitch. I thought that was weird that all of a sudden the fucking picture froze. But yeah, that's exactly how I fucking feel. God, it annoys, it just bugs the fuck out of me that I'll censor myself or I'll be afraid to do this shit because of people's opinions. And it's like, I'm not, I'll feel that fear, but I'm not gonna fucking, it's not gonna stop me. That's unfortunate. All right. Well, unfortunately, dropped out. So this will be the end of this fucking episode. All right.